Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Prospect Central 101. My name is Chris Robbins, and today, joining me, we have two guests on the channel at the same time. Why don't you guys go first? I don't care who.
Ladies first, you.
God damn it.
Women and children first.
Yeah.
Let's be inclusive.
I'll be accepting that because it's not technically incorrect. I am under the legal age of 18.
True. And I am the well-known smartest person on this channel, Sam.
This might actually be the first video we post. I don't know yet.
God.
But today, we are going to be watching, as you guys can possibly see on the screen, in Trey Lance. So, Keelan, I'll start with you because I know that you've watched quite a bit of Trey Lance already. What are your thoughts on him from what you have seen so far?
QB1. One of the best arms in the class, mixed that with mobility, extremely accurate. He is a flawless man.
That's bold.
Okay, I'll let you counter that, Sam, if you have a counter or if you just don't know.
Oh, yeah, I have not watched any Trey Lance. I don't know the last time I've ever turned on a North Dakota State game.
Okay, good to
You
know.
must watch television.
So you're
The
kind of
fool didn't throw it. Sorry.
Oh, you go.
The fool didn't even throw an interception last year.
Yeah, that's great. I'm sure
Yeah.
he's very good. I just don't have any preconceived bias of him, one way or the other.
Sad.
Nice. Well,
Never
then
watched a game.
you're in the same spot as me then as well. I have not watched any of him myself, and that includes live games actually. So this will be my very first exposure to him in total as well. So, with that said, do you guys have a preference for what game we start with? We have 3 today.
We should. I don't care. We
You
can
said
start out the
you said
top.
you watched this one already, right, Keelan?
Yes.
Okay, so
I guess I could look up the schedule. We could watch him in order of the way he played if we wanted to do that. I don't know if it really matters that much.
I don't really care enough to do that at this point for a quarterback. I mean, I guess it would be interesting to know, but
Yeah.
It's not like I really know the conferences anyway, so.
True.
Okay. Well, based on the fact that this is seeding, this is a playoff game. Either that or the number 1 team played the number 3 team in the country very early on in the season. And not that it really matters, but he is number 5. He will be the quarterback. Okay. Athleticism for sure. It's nice to see at the start. A little underthrown first pass. I like the touch though. It's a good tight spiral. But yeah, I probably could have gotten a little bit more in terms of distance and strength on that. Mechanics are interesting. 1-step drop. That was nice velocity though. Boom, nice tight dart.
And he's definitely got arm strength because it kind of looks like he's throwing off his back foot there. He doesn't even have to.
Okay, good decision on the keeper. Another QB draw, so they definitely like running him. Ugh. Okay, nice throw under pressure.
Yeah, that was great.
Dub.
Boom, right in again the ball placement here too, not throw behind. Not necessarily leading, don't really expect that in that situation though either. But nice really right on target pass there. In tight coverage. Oh, and they're even gonna get roughing the passer on him. I don't know if I'm a fan of that call, but whatever.
Soft.
If that were a Lions pass rusher, I would not like that call, is basically my point.
Yeah.
Okay. Block. Okay. Nice
Ow.
high motor. Oh. Well, that's a fail. Another design quarterback run. So they're definitely running him quite a bit on these design plays.
I feel like I've seen like 2 throws, 3 throws that he's made so far.
Compared to more than that runs. Oh my. Is that a throwaway?
Almost looked like it. Clearly, he's got the arm strength.
Yeah, he probably threw that away under pressure. Because that was not even close to. Ooh. Oh, I like the single wire. Okay, a little bit high in the placement. But you're definitely seeing the velocity. Another designed run. Nice job climbing the pocket.
Yeah, that was really good.
Probably prefer he doesn't take off running, but I guess he picked up like 5 off of it. Ooh, nice sell on the play fake. Getting a little bit underthrown, so I do want to see a little bit more of that consistency with the arm strength. Part of that may be a mechanical thing though too, because like Sam said earlier, throwing off the back foot a little bit. So maybe if he gets a little bit more balance and he relies a little bit more on the arm, it could be fixed.
It's a good throw on the run, though.
Yep. Another designed run play.
Unrelated, but South Dakota State's logo is so cool. I've always loved their logo.
Aren't they the Jackrabbits?
Mm-hmm.
I love that. That's amazing.
Another designed run. Well, that was more of an option than a designed run. Okay, this is something we can talk about that we need to kind of hit on a little bit. Is system. Does take some snaps under center. Oh, that was beautiful.
Throw a dime. Yeah.
A little bit underthrown again, unfortunately. But yeah, that was snap under center is always nice. Power back set, great rollout, and so on. And fantastic play action stuff. So he definitely has this system in terms of limiting that adjustment there. Another design run play. I was just talking about how a system is pro ready and he has a bajillion design run plays. I'd like to see a little bit more improvement with the footwork. He's taking a lot of one-step drops. That might be by design, but I'd like to see a little bit more versatility from that standpoint there. Okay.
Okay, good decision.
Was it though?
It looked like that was the most open.
most open, but I kind of would like to see him be a little bit more patient here on third down
Yeah, I didn't realize it was 3rd and goal. That's my bad. Yeah.
and see if he could hit
Actually,
this
yeah,
guy
he
on
might
there.
have had him. He could have actually thrown that over top. Let him go get it.
Another design quarterback run. I feel like I'm watching Lamar Jackson FCS edition here. That was a nice throw. Unfortunately, it was dropped. But
Wow,
fantastic.
that was really beautiful throw.
Yeah, he's a great job with the touch on this pass as well. Great tight spirals we talked about a little bit earlier.
Wow,
Right on the
that
boundary.
was Aaron Rodgers-esque. It was a
Yep.
heck of a throw.
Fantastic placement. Right on the boundary mark. I'll assume it was dropped. If that's Kangality, that's a catch.
Of course it is, but he'd also be far more separated, you know? Wow, that's actually a really bad drop.
And then right back to its sign run play. Oh.
On 3rd and 6, that's an interesting call.
I had no clue. Other design. Well, that was an option, but another option play. Okay, nice quick flat read. One read play, but 3rd and short, I guess, is not in the world. Another designed handoff. And a fumble.
I see.
I mean, I guess when you let your quarterback carry the football 20 times a game, a fumble is probably going to happen.
Right.
Does feel comfortable under center, though, which is good.
Good throw.
Nice.
Yeah, great ball placement. Again, just to touch on that a little bit. Nice job getting that ball high to a taller, bigger receiver. Looked like a tight end or fullback.
Yeah, accurate or not, I love the touch this guy has. He's got beautiful touch.
Yeah, right over the top there with that ball placement. Real nice. Oh, the design run play. Imagine if Patrick Mahomes or Jordan Love ran the ball 15 times a game. That was also a very good throw.
It's a PI.
Yeah, again, talked about the system. Well, as much fun as we're making of the quarterback runs, he's also doing stuff like this. Very pro style at the same time. Very heavy backfield. Play action, really well executed play action pass. A nice down the field vertical shot on that play as well. So, well, it's kind of funny to make fun of all these horrendous quarterback run calls. At the same time, he's also doing some very pro style things at the same time, too. In terms of attacking the boundary.
That was a beautiful throw.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
His ball placement's really standing out so far to me. Another play action pass, under center. A little bit overthrown, but I would rather hit that than underthrow myself.
Yeah.
I just want to get a little bit more of that arc and trajectory on that. That was on the receiver. Receiver needs to know that that coverage is to his left, turning out the ball. Also, you get to see from this angle as well, you get to see the reads, progressions. Definitely not typically a one-read offense. He has some one-read plays, those flat concepts and those quick outs and so on, but he's able to go through his progressions and read the field. Yeah, that's very catchable.
Yeah.
There doesn't have a quarterback room option. Same thing at this point. Okay, so your guys' thoughts through one game. Sam, you go first.
Lamar Jackson and Marcus Mariota.
Interesting. Where do you get the
All I saw
Mariota from?
All he does is run the ball.
hmm He has a better arm than the both of them, in my opinion.
Oh, I don't know. I like Lamar's arm strength.
Lamar has
does have
good arm.
Lamar does have a cannon.
Yeah, I like. I don't know. Lamar, I like. I don't know. I don't really like Mariota.
Well, no one likes Mariota. That was just a jab at him running a lot. He's definitely better than Mariota.
Well, I'll take a jab at you after we're done recording.
Okay, so Keelan, your thoughts having rewatched that?
He's very good. Although yes, he does run the ball a lot. He has a really good arm. I really like his touch and his ball placement.
Nice.
And it's better than Mariota's.
I would hope so.
Actually, I just
It's
realized
become personal.
that is the championship game, so I will actually save that. And we will go to the Delaware game next.
Neat.
Unless you guys have anything else you wanted to add.
Nope.
I just want to see him throw the ball more.
Nice quick fly concept. Okay. Another really nice boundary pass.
Look at those knockoff Michigan jerseys.
They have a better defense than Michigan does. At least against Ohio State. I'm half joking.
Well, I don't know. I don't think anybody's defense is good against Ohio State's.
Clemson's was.
Was it though?
Yeah, it was pretty solid.
The only reason they won is because the receiver slipped. I'll say that again.
And they hardly put up more than 20 points.
Okay. Well, he still would have won.
Irrelevant.
Objection.
I will say though, just going back to that point, while I'm half joking about that, the Delaware's defense, when I was watching, remember Keelan, this was before I started talking to Sam really, when we watched Nasir Adderley,
Yes.
yeah, that Delaware defense was all over the place. That were
Right.
a very fun watch for sure. So while
It
I'm
definitely
kind of
was.
joking about the Michigan thing after Sam, they are a very sound, technically refined, very high motor defense. Definitely a fun defense to watch. So this will probably be one of the best defenses that he went against in his college career.
Nice. Delaware has a sick logo too. The FCS is where it's at.
And yet they have Michigan's helmets.
Knockoff Michigan helmet.
I see really no difference.
Doesn't look as sharp.
Probably because they're used more. Like deeper playoff runs.
Oh. Well, speaking of runs.
Right where we left off. Oh, number 10, that must have been Devin Bush.
Okay, I throw on the runner, come back route. I like that little placement on that particular concept. Nice. Good turkey hole. want to see a little bit more. I talked about this in the first video. One reason why he might be not getting as much of the distance on these throws is the footwork. And I'm seeing why now. Like, on this play especially, look at how static his feet are. He's just kind of standing in the pocket. And
Yeah.
every once in a while, he'll adjust a little bit to kind of correct. But he's not really keeping that active footwork. So that's probably the biggest issue that I have with him so far is that mechanical element. Of course, that is, again, correctable.
Scored off that.
But yeah, it's not going to be your Daniel Jones type of quarterback. That was nice. At least it looked like it was. Run to the right. Oh, no, he shot. Nice play action. Nice. Great ball placement again.
Yeah, that was really nice.
Really doing a nice job of locating those tight window passes. Okay, nice safe and secure dump. Yeah, you're not getting that. Dump play action. Okay, good coverage again. Probably could have done a little bit more in terms of leading the receiver. But that's still very relatively catchable football, I would say, and with the tight coverage. Shell dump. Especially at 3rd and 3. Beautiful.
God, man.
Probably could have done a little bit better to keep him on his feet, but otherwise that was a really, really nice throw. That's more so being tight. Yes, still a great completion. But he's not Matthew Stafford.
Oh yeah, no one is. He's the GOAT.
Nice.
Personal opinion, either you gotta pick your direction. Either you want to lead him up and you want to place that ball further out in front, or you want to kind of play that safer and place that ball a little bit more closer to the boundary to kind of lead him out instead of up. Kind of picks a little bit of weird in between there, just throws it at his guy a little bit more than to him. That kind of goes with the whole leading the receiver thing. At the same token there. He's not really leading his receiver in either direction, he's kind of throwing it at his receiver. That was nice. In that situation, it's okay because you have to fit the window. Another great play fake sell. Ball placement.
Throw on the run.
Tad high, but not bad. Yeah, just talked about this a couple times now. Lean the receiver. Watch this. He turns the receiver around, forces a difficult catch here. Leads to him getting hammered. Yeah, that's not exactly the greatest throw in terms of placement.
Well, that was actually a pretty nice catch. Good step up.
So I wonder if it's more of a timing issue because we've seen him have some really nice placement on some of these throws. I'm wondering if it's more of a timing issue in terms of getting the ball out, or maybe it is a velo issue and he's just not getting the ball there from the snap point on time. Slow release. Jeez.
He does a lot of play action.
I like that though. Play action's a very effective tool.
Mm-hmm.
I was reading one piece of analysis this offseason while we were on our hiatus about how play action is actually
Beautiful throw.
Play action is actually more of a positive effect for passing plays than just for rushing plays.
Yeah.
That was an interesting. That was an interesting take. That was nice. Good throw.
What?
Pressure, I guess. Got two guys attacking him here.
Again, to your point, I don't like how he takes 1 to 3 steps back and he just plants his feet and stands there. He's got no pocket motion until it's time to climb the pocket or roll out.
Yeah, his footwork is not the greatest. Interesting. Alright, that's the two games.
I liked that game a lot more from him, personally.
Okay, interesting. Myself.
There was a lot more to see in terms of him throwing the football than against South Dakota State. So I guess that's probably why. But I mean, he honestly to me looks like a rawer prospect with a really high ceiling as of right now.
Yep. I'm right there with you. Keelan, are you still here?
Oh, you just said he got kicked off Skype.
Rep. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can. No, we didn't have that issue. Okay, Sam, do you mind if I restart the call real quick?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So, unfortunately, technical delays. We had a little bit of one at the end of the call also. I'm just gonna have to recall them back real quick before we start the third game here. Okay, so looks like Keelan still hasn't joined back in yet. Pessim is unavailable. We can try again. Well, for those of you guys new to the channel, welcome. This is, I guess, the best opportunity we'll have for that. We don't do any editing here, so this is all going to be just raw footage, which sucks for times like this, unfortunately.
Go ahead and skip through this if you guys don't want to sit here through Skype malfunctions.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's just stuff like this happening, but this is relatively rare. I don't remember having an issue like this before. It keeps on coming up as unavailable. maybe I should try calling Keelan and then adding you. Sam, do you mind if I try that real quick?
I don't know. I guess you can try it.
Okay. So yeah, this will happen, I guess, sometimes. This isn't available. That kind of sucks. Okay, so we're gonna have him try calling me back and see if that'll go through. Anyway, hopefully you guys have learned a thing or two so far. Okay, well, I just gonna have to restart Skype. Unfortunately, this stuff just kind of happens and it picks and chooses when and where. We don't have this issue happen often. But yeah, so I guess I'll give my thoughts through two games while to kind of just fill the time. So far, Sam's talked about it a little bit, and but yeah, the kind of footwork thing is something that I really want to see a little bit more of in the third game. Also, like to kind of see. We've gotten to see him throw down the field and hit those check downs, those underneath throws. I'm very interested to see if he ever hits any of those intermediate routes. We'd like to see him throw in the middle of the field a little bit more consistently. We've seen those nice boundary passes so far, but want to see how he does in the middle of the field, and maybe that's something that we can see more of in the third game. We're going to be watching James Madison, which is the championship game from the playoff, the college football FCS playoffs. So that'll be the third game that we'll watch here in a minute, once we can get all this stuff kind of sorted out here. I guess I could call Sam in here and see. Maybe we can talk to him about some of this stuff and see if he's seeing the same things as I am.
Did it work?
No, not yet.
Unfortunate.
Okay, so I was just explaining to kind of fill the time while I was waiting for that. Some of the things that I've noticed that we hadn't really talked about so far. The first thing was I kind of like to see him attack a little bit more that intermediate aspect of the field. We've seen him take a couple of those deep pass opportunities, and we've seen him hit a lot of those shutdown reads, but not really a whole lot in that 10, 15 to 20 yard range.
Yeah.
And also, we haven't really seen him in terms of thirds of the field. We really haven't seen a whole lot in terms of that middle of the field play either. A lot of his best throws have been in the boundary areas. Is that something that you've been noticing yourself on both of those?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, because you also have to think about, honestly, the best aspect of his game so far, I can tell outside of his just raw arm and throw power, is his touch. And the best opportunity passes to get touch is down the sideline. So it's probably an easy target for him to try to hit.
True. But yeah, it's kind of interesting to see because, I want to kind of say that I don't want it's weird because I feel like in some ways, now they have a lot of differences, and obviously there's different elements of this that are going to go into this. But just for a recent example, you know what? I'm going to pose this as a question to you instead.
Mhm.
How would you compare him to Jordan Love?
Not gonna lie, he did pop into my head.
Because the big issue I had with
Honestly-
Jordan Love was the decision-making aspect, and he has not had
Yeah.
any issues with his decision-making. So I feel
Yeah.
like that's a little bit unfair from that aspect of things, but
But I feel like watching him play, I get a lot of. From the first game, I was like, he kind of throws like Jordan Love. It's an interesting comparison. I wouldn't say it's his like locked player comp, but I think it's in some aspects it's fair to say that with his touch and throw power, etc.
mobility.
Mobility, a big one.
In some ways, if I remember correctly, Love did play some under center as well.
I don't think as much as and if this trend continued over the season, I don't think Love played as much under center as Trey Lance has.
Okay, fair. But yeah, the biggest differentiator, and it's obviously a huge one, is the decision making. Love was an absolutely horrid decision maker,
Yeah.
whereas Trey Lance had 0 interceptions over the course of the entire season. But
Right.
they're also both smaller school guys as well, too, which is another thing that kind of came to my mind.
I definitely like Trey Lance more than Jordan Love as of right now.
Yeah. It's just kind of interesting from both struggle with the mechanical elements, both kind of have a similar sense of mobility to them. I don't know.
I've already got a pretty decent ceiling in mind for him, but I'm going to wait until we do the grading. I think you might like it, like a lot.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, I'm kind of waiting for mine too. I'm gonna add to the videos I've been doing with Keelan the last couple minutes, hours. I've been going back, like I basically let Keelan like talk over like his thoughts while I look for a player comp.
Gotcha.
So that's been working out relatively well. I love how we're just talking casually while this is recording. Well, we may
Hello, guys. I hope you find this entertaining. Welcome to the Prospect Central 101 podcast now. We're doing a podcast right now. So sit back, grab yourself a drink, whatever you like to drink. I personally could go for, some strawberry lemonade, maybe a Coors Light. I don't know, sponsor us maybe.
It's funny because, well, we wouldn't do alcoholic sponsor. But,
oh, dang. You got big money.
I actually have some strawberry lemonade in the fridge. That's what I was having this morning.
Lucky.
So, yeah, that's been one of my things. I have strawberry and I don't remember what it was. It was strawberry kiwi?
Oof. I mean, strawberry with anything is pretty good with lemonade.
Yeah, I forget exactly what it was. It was strawberry something else, and then I have tropical mango, which is like pineapple, mango, and something else.
Interesting.
Like exotic fruits.
Interesting.
So, yeah, that's what I've been having a lot of myself lately. During quarantine.
Can't argue it. Good juice.
Hopefully you guys have been staying safe during quarantine as well. Okay, interesting. While we wait for Keelan to rejoin, I guess, still, Panthers chat actually right now is talking a little bit about Trey Lance. So what would you think about his fit in Carolina for our Panthers fans out there?
To be honest, I don't know enough about the Panthers scheme to apply a scheme fit to them.
Okay, so they are Matt Rule is their head coach. So they have a little bit of like that Baylor style aggressive down the field elements. But they also, their OC and their play caller is Joe Brady, who was the LSU OC last year, who called plays. Before that was with the Saints and Sean Payton. So a little bit more of that West Coast element too.
I mean, if we're talking West Coast, like, so you're what you're telling me right now is their scheme is pretty much an aggressive West Coast.
Yes. So, like,
I
basically think Sean
that's
Payton.
a really good fit. That's a really good fit for Trey Lance.
Yeah, I definitely see why they would be higher on him. But what do you think about him playing in front of no offensive line is the point that they're bringing up right now specifically?
I don't think it's as big of a deal as it could be with uh, other quarterbacks they could bring in. Because I mean, they did fine with Newton and not a lot of O-line help. I mean, Newton's a bigger guy for sure, but I mean, he has a lot of mobility to him. And that's kind of part of his game. I think they could easily design plays and like a system where he can get out of the pocket a little bit more, whether it's designed or not. I don't think that would be like a detrimental landing spot for him just because of the O line.
True.
But
Yeah. And it's
you don't want to go into anything. I mean, you don't want to build like the Seahawks where they just neglect O line and say, "Oh well, Wilson will bail us out." But I don't think it'll be like the end all be all for them, like it could be with other players.
interesting. Yeah, it's just kind of I don't know, because like you see these FCS guys, and it's kind of hard to tell, like how he would be in a, say, a Big Ten school. How would he do in Michigan?
Right.
So there's that kind of. How did I get a Skype notification? Did Keelan try and call me? Hold on 1 second. I just got a Skype notification. I think it might be from Keelan. Yes, it was. Okay. Let's try this. Can't think. Come on. Doodle-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Not online. What? Okay, I'm gonna keep Sam off for a second until we can see if we can get Keelan back in here. But yeah, it's interesting because like, and I'll just I guess go over maybe a couple of other fits that I could see. In the meantime, I'm not sure how I feel about him in Jacksonville. Obviously, we haven't watched Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields yet, but I'm not really sure if Lance is the guy that's going to kind of be that difference maker for them. I do feel like he would be at his best based on the first two games that we've seen so far. If he kind of sat for a year and developed an more ideal situation, or maybe if he went to a team that has a little bit more surrounding talent than Jacksonville does, where he doesn't really have to be that star player. Like, for example, I would kind of like to see him in New England myself as well. I think that'd be an interesting fit, kind of grooming himself under Belichick a little bit. Belichick looking for kind of like that long-term type of guy who can be his Cam Newton, but a little bit healthier, a little bit younger, a little bit more potential and ceiling than Cam has at this particular stage in his career. So maybe the Patriots could be an interesting option for him. Come on. Unavailable. What the heck? It literally says he is online. This is really, really weird. Okay, in some sort of situations, it would make more sense to kind of just keep going with Sam, but unfortunately, we didn't get to our third game. We already got through 2 games. I kind of want to hear what's changed with Keeling's grade after rewatching him with us. So I kind of see the value in getting his opinion on this. I don't necessarily want to restart the video either at this point because we already watched 2 games, and at that point I would already have, Sam and I both would already have watched 2 games, so I'm not really sure. Oh, you know what? I'm going to talk to Sam about this. Okay, so I was thinking about this, like, off call. What do you think about doing a grade with just us 2 at this point?
Yeah,
And then
that's
going back
fine.
and watching a third game with Keelan on a separate, like, part 2?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so what we're gonna do, guys, is, unfortunately, this is late. I wish I had thought of this earlier. But Sam and I are gonna go over our grades based on the first part of this. And then when we can get Keeling in, whenever that is, this will basically serve as our part 1. And then we'll add Keelan back in for a part 2 video. And then we'll go over the third game. And then Sam and I will adjust our grades if needed as necessary. And then we'll let Keelan give him his thoughts on the 3 games when he's able to get back in here. So for me, and this will also allow us to kind of add him as needed without being in the middle of a game and so on and so forth and everything like that. So roll grade for me is going to be, I'll go with mid-tier starter. Seems about right.
You're not sharing your screen, by the way.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna go over everything by voice, so it's not like I'm sharing video or anything.
Oh, okay.
I'm just sharing my spreadsheet.
Gotcha.
So yeah, my roll grade for him is going to be mid-tier starter. Remind me that when I'm done with this, by the way, though. Concerns. So our concerns for this year, for those of you guys new to the channel, welcome. Unfortunately, this is going to be your guys' first video here. And that we had to have the technical issues, but so these are our concerns for this year. A is going to be athleticism. Don't really have that concern with Lance. C is character. And as far as I know, not a concern. L is going to be a good thing. That is going to be for players, mainly for my personal use, who I believe fit the Lions system or could be a target based on where we're picking and so on. M is medical concerns. Don't remember hearing anything about that from Lance. P is playbook system and learning. So, for example, a quarterback who runs the Washington State air raid, like basically pure air raid, not like NFL air raid, adjusted. S is going to be special teams players. Another good thing, typically, maybe a guy who isn't as good at corner or wide receiver, but has vice or gunner potential. So, say for example, Travis Fulgham, not really great receiver, but he was an excellent blocker. So he'd be a guy who would get asked for special teams, so has potential vice. T is mental toughness, so a guy who maybe has one good play and then struggles the next. Maybe he struggles in the clutch. Maybe he struggles against better teams. Things of that sort that kind of come into question there. And then U is going to be undersized or small players, which is, like, again, mainly going to be your offensive lineman, your defensive lineman, say defensive end who's 225 pounds, will be considered undersized, Brian Burns. Or maybe someone that was like Chase Winovich was like 5'10", going to be undersized there. So there's that kind of element to it as well. So I don't think I have any of those concerns about Lance. What about yourself?
No, yeah, no concerns there.
I don't
Okay.
have concerns either.
Oh, he's back.
Oh my goodness, you're here.
I am
Okay.
here.
Well, I guess
My
the next-
apologies.
Okay. Well, I guess then we can go back to this then. So give me 1 second to share screen. Okay, let me know when you guys can see.
I can see.
Sammy, good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Phew. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna have to remember to put what's the timestamp on this? We are at 51 minutes. Okay, so I'm gonna have to remember that. I'll actually make a note of that on my thing. 51 minutes is when we restart game 3. Let's timestamp. Okay. So here we go, back to game number 3, finally. This video is going to be a lot longer than normal, which kind of sucks, but at least I'll have a timestamp in there. So here we go with James Madison, which is the championship game from 2019. So I guess this is technically the year before, which is fine. So this would have been the 2018 season.
Right.
2019.
But I didn't think he redshirted this year, though. I thought.
Wasn't he a redshirt sophomore?
He was a redshirt freshman last year, which is what we're watching. He started a redshirt. He would be a redshirt sophomore if he was playing this year.
Because the 2019 championship game should be...
They either labeled it wrong or this is from the 18-19 season.
Right.
Or maybe the FCS plays earlier?
No, he labeled it wrong. The final was January 11th, 2020. North Dakota State and James Madison.
Oh, okay. So it is from this year still. Okay.
It is just it's just labeled wrong.
Okay. So we'll actually restart the whole thing. Jeez, Lakers were 31-7. Yeah, that's a giveaway. I wish I'd seen that at the beginning. Lakers were not 31-7 last year.
Yo, yeah, God no.
And look at that, another run play.
Starting out with a run.
Yeah, welcome back to after the timestamp, after the technical issues, another quarterback run play. Yikes.
Interesting.
So yeah, you actually missed a couple of discussions while we were gone, Keelan. We'll probably go over them at the end again.
Cool. It appears my laptop decided it didn't want to watch any more tape today, so I had to go to actually had to start my PC that my dad gave me.
Oh, dang. I have no idea.
Is this Trey Lance tape or how to run a read option?
Yeah.
Okay, that was nice evasion there. Good job of avoiding the pressure. Just gonna send someone flying up the middle. He just sidesteps that.
And there we go. He attacked the middle of the field and the intermediate part of the field. Two things we wanted to see.
Yep.
And clearly has the athleticism.
Okay, another throw under pressure. This is probably part of why that was inaccurate. Things we did not want to see more of. Quarterback runs. Now if he breaks one for 50. Okay, well that wasn't necessarily
pretty nice.
wrong. That was more
He made something out of nothing.
Jeez. "13 passing yards."
And it was all in that one throw over the middle.
Yeah, I wonder why. I wonder why. Oh, to be fair, that's a face mask.
I like to see him throw that rather than just take off, but
Yeah,
not a good throw.
a little bit higher on the ball placement. There, he probably had no choice.
Yeah. I don't mind plays like that when things collapse and he's able to make something out of it. It's a positive. But...
Oh, 3rd and 4. Quarterback, I don't know.
He's got some ridiculous bursts, though.
This is just getting funny at this point. Can't wait for all the people in March to tell him that he should move to running back.
I mean, I didn't want to say it, but
if you don't like people saying Lamar should be a running back, don't. Okay.
To be fair, Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts, but at least
Robinson.
He can't. At least Jalen Hurts. He can't throw the football very well. Trey Lance certainly is more accurate and has a better arm than Jalen Hurts.
That was catchable, I would argue.
Yeah.
Respectable for
It was a little low, but it was a decent pass.
Are his receivers just this bad, or what?
It looked like he was kind of staying patient, looking for something open, because there's only 3 seconds left. They might have just ran I don't know what they were doing, but it looked like he was staying patient, keeping his eyes downfield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
boy.
Well, I guess they're bound to happen on the 30th run.
Was that on him? I thought it was like a handoff gone wrong.
No, it was a botch.
It was an option.
I see.
Rip. Nice.
Oh, okay. Okay, I like how he looked. Take the yards.
Okay, is this going to be a draw? A passing play. Not a great decision, though.
No, that was not. He was covered tight.
Okay, good throw. Shut down. Okay, nice quick release.
Yeah, that was nice.
Good, nice quick decision as well. How to beat North Dakota State, the #1 team in the FCS. Stop the quarterback run.
True. Wow. Oh my God, he's going to go all the way? Unbelievable.
I'm speechless. I don't know how you, as the #2 team in the country in that level of football,
That's unbelievable.
Let him.
I mean, he's clearly one of the fastest people on the field, so you have to tip your cap to that. But how do you not defend that?
On a 3rd and 23.
That's unbelievable. To be fair, that's what Christian Jones did against Patrick Mahomes.
Oh boy.
I feel like the talent difference between Patrick Mahomes and Christian Jones
You're right.
might actually be smaller than the talent difference between Trey Lance and James
It
Madison.
is, because they're both NFL players. But I mean, to be fair, Christian Jones is worlds above Patrick Mahomes as a player. Oh,
Statically again.
yeah, it was an accurate ball, but why are you not moving your feet?
Oh, I mean, how accurate really was it, though?
Seemed pretty accurate.
Is it?
Looks like a good throw to me. It's going over his hand, is it not?
No.
Oh, to get hit by the hand?
Didn't
Yeah.
look like it got hit to me. It
Hmm.
stayed on track and didn't.
It got deflected. You can tell because the placement changes.
Hmm.
I'll slow it down.
Oh, yeah, you're
Oh
right.
yeah.
Deflected. Yep. I rescind my statement.
Oh, it's basketball. Never mind.
Or were you hyped for Louisville beating Notre Dame?
Yeah. Because we played them with week 1 of Satterfield. And that was a really, really good game. That...
The hell is that offensive line?
I'm not worried about the offensive line. I'm worried about the play calling at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
This is a 39 with 3 minutes left to go in the 4th quarter of the national championship game. Up by, including a 2-point conversion, 1 score. And you're running a QB draw out of 5
You're
wide.
pretty much giving them the ball back to try to tie this game up.
Like, the only reason that this would make sense to me is if you have confidence that your kicker could make it from the 40, but not from the 45.
Yeah.
Which in FCS I highly doubt.
Don't worry about it. I'll fix it after.
No, they're gonna
Oh,
go
and then
for
they're
it.
going to go, okay, I mean, I guess in that situation it might make sense too. But then you run a QB draw.
Why?
Did
Oh,
they win? I need to know if they won that game now.
They did 28-20.
Okay, so you didn't end up scoring on the possession.
Nope.
Okay. So, your guys' thoughts on the 3 games? We'll start with you,
Well-
Keelan.
Before I say anything, my apologies if you heard something. My door got jammed. I was trying to open it, and it turns out I ripped the door off the hinges.
Oh, okay.
So my day keeps getting better. Anyways, I think that game was full of running, and that's about it. When he does pass, he has a cannon of an arm. His accuracy is in question sometimes, but that scheme and that play calling is just something.
Sam?
I mean, yeah, I like his throw power. Decision making, not a huge problem for me. Obviously, could be worked on, but everyone can work on decision making. I don't think that's a glaring hole he has.
Compared to the guy that we were talking about before
Yes,
Keelan came back.
indeed.
Who's that?
We'll get to it later.
Okay.
Same continue.
His touch is one of the best aspects of his game for sure. Probably that with his throw power. Beautiful touch. I like the way, well, I like his athleticism for one, but I also like how he's not always rolling out just to run. Like he's rolling out, keeping his eyes downfield, approaching the line of scrimmage, staying patient, and taking off as a last resort. I saw that a lot, especially against James Madison. I liked that. Accuracy is a question, and I think a lot of that comes from his footwork is not ideal. Whether it's in the pocket or on his release, his footwork is pretty bad. So I guess that's, I mean, I like him, though. I think he's a fine quarterback. So I guess that's what I'll say.
Okay, so I'm seeing a couple guys. I'm looking for a pro comp. I'm seeing a couple guys that have similarities but are very, very different at the same time, which is making this kind of difficult. Like, for example, one guy that I've come across so far is Dwayne Haskins. Like, Dwayne Haskins is completely immobile.
Yeah.
So that's not really going to work. Another guy I've come across just now is crap. I lost who it was. Where'd he go? Oh, there it is. Josh Allen.
I
don't like the Josh Allen fit as much.
No.
Well, I mean, in terms of arm strength, in terms of mobility, they're similar.
They're fairly
similar there, yeah, but I don't know about like the accuracy issues.
I think Lance has better accuracy and better decision making than Allen does.
I would agree.
What about Deshaun Watson?
No.
That was my comp. That was my ceiling. Deshaun Watson.
I mean, ceiling, sure. I'm not gonna go for that as a comp, though.
Or Kyler?
No, not similar to
Too
Kyler
big.
at all. Trubisky.
Yeah, no.
He's closer to Kyler than Mitch.
Like, I mean, you could honestly say he's like a Trubisky floor, but
yeah,
there's no way he's as bad as Trubisky.
Going back even further. Okay, Jared Goff is interesting. I can see that for sure. That'll probably end up being mine, I guess. Play action type of pro style offensive guys. Have some mobility, but not really elite athletes in the sense of a Lamar. Similar levels of arm strength for me personally, similar levels of accuracy. Both guys who would thrive with a more separation heavy system, amongst other things. Both guys who are at their best with the best surrounding talent. Goff struggled a little bit more without some of his players around him and that gap between the Rams and some of the other teams.
I think he's far more athletic than Goff, though. He's got a little bit bigger of an arm.
Yeah.
I think the comparison, though, is close enough to where it's kind of like who else is closer. I find at least within the last 5 classes, I could spend hours going back through decades of classes and probably find someone better. But
yeah,
okay.
I mean, if you're going for straight up comp, I guess Jared Goff is probably the best you can get
within recent years.
Yeah.
Okay, biggest strength. Ooh. I guess mobility, maybe?
Yeah.
Play action. I'm going to roll with that. Play action passes. He doesn't really shove his son to play fake. That was another one of the big reasons why I compare him to Goff. Because Goff was really mastered that misdirection in that McVay offense.
Yeah, he has.
So I'm going to go for play action there. Biggest weakness,
Footwork.
too many hits.
That too. That's another thing why I like his comparison to Watson in terms of ceiling.
And did we talk about him sliding at all?
No, he didn't slide.
No, he didn't slide.
But for as many QB runs as he has, you would think even Lamar got out of bounds and made guys miss.
No, he likes contact.
Yeah. Okay, so ceiling and floor for me, I'm gonna go with a lower floor and a higher ceiling.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Relatively boomer bust for me, depending on where he ends up. If he's able to study year, situation, surrounding talent, all that good stuff. And bust potential is going to be 50-50. Your guys' thoughts on those two?
I definitely agree with the low floor, high ceiling.
Yeah, me too.
For sure.
I don't disagree with the bust potential either. I give him 45%, so similar.
And if you're going, low floor, high ceiling, it's pretty reasonable to say it's a 50-50 chance.
Yeah, exactly.
What were the other two games? South Dakota.
South Dakota, Delaware, and James Madison. Yep.
So, before I get into the traits, I will pose this... That's annoying. I will pose this question to you guys. He does have the chance in one game this year against Central Arkansas, who you guys may have already seen already, depending on if you watched the first game of the year. One game this season in front of scouts. What is one thing that you would like to see him improve on in that game that would kind of raise his stock for you before we get into these traits?
I would like to see him focus more on passing the football, which isn't really his call. It's obviously the offensive coordinator, head coach. But I would like to see him showcase more of his passing ability because we know he has the talent, but I want to see it more.
I would want to see him taking some snaps from shotgun, under center play action, throwing some runs, really show his versatility in terms of how he can fit. And I also think he would need to massively work on being a more consistent thrower, which starts with his footwork and technique. If he can really show out for the scouts with consistent throws over and over again, looks like picking apart a defense, I think that would boost his stock heavily.
Yeah.
Cool. So the 4 core traits that we're going to be looking at least me from my spreadsheet here, are going to be mental traits. That's going to be predominantly decision making. But other areas include maybe system and so on and so forth, ability to recognize defenses, recognize coverages, make pre-snap, post-snap, even to some degree leadership. All that kind of stuff is factored into mental traits. So for me, I'm going to go with a solid 20, which is a B and a 6.5? 6.7 on the NFL scale, so actually more like 6.6. It's a lower end. Arm strength for me is going to be... I'll go with a 23, I guess, fair. And it's just the lower end of the A scale, which is a 6.7 to 6.8. Arm accuracy. Okay, so arm strength is pretty self-explanatory. That includes velocity, that includes arm strength, that includes anything in terms of throwing the ball hard and or far. Tight window throws, can you put the ball into tight windows? Oh, that's kind of encompassed in velocity anyway. Arm accuracy is everything from short to mid to sideline to deep to boundary to left to right to center to intermediate to ball placement, anything that encompasses getting the ball, leading receivers, all that kind of stuff is going to be encompassed into arm accuracy, which is typically going to be my harshest grade, I would say, on average, for most of these guys this year. For those reasons, because you have to excel in every area to be a 25. So I'm gonna go. I'll stick with the 20 again. Which is gonna be a B at the 6.6. And then for mobility, he's not really in that Lamar class for me. I have him more in that Mahomes tier in terms of athleticism. Maybe even Russ Wilson tier, I guess. So I'm gonna go to 23 there.
Yeah.
Which is an low A, and 6.7.
So where would you like accompany in your like 4 grades his like footwork issues, etc.?
So mechanics, it depends, because it really depends on how that impacts each tier. So for example, I wouldn't necessarily call that mobility, because footwork doesn't really correlate to mobility. But like in Lance's case, that would be accuracy, because his footwork issues, his mechanics issues lead to inaccuracies.
Gotcha.
In some cases, it may lead to, like, for example, Jake Browning is an example of this. It may lead to, like, a weaker arm and not being able to get enough. So, like, for example, like, you're not able to, because you have improper mechanics, you're not able to get full arm strength on a pass.
Gotcha.
So, for some guys, it impacts arm strength a little bit more. For some guys, it could be an issue where, like, mechanics issues lead to a slower release. So that could almost be like a mental trait issue in terms of timing, like not getting the ball out on time.
Gotcha.
So it all kind of depends case by case, and that's one of the things with the simplification, is like a quicker release could lead to better timing. A better footwork could lead to better arm strength. Better hip movement and flexibility, and making sure you finish the pass from a mechanical standpoint could lead to better arm strength. So it all kind of plays into different aspects. So in Lance's case, it's a footwork issue, which is leading to an arm accuracy issue.
Yeah.
So yeah, overall that's minus 510 plus minus 4. Yeah. So minus 14 is an 86, which is also a solid B, and a 6.6.
Very similar to what I gave him. I gave him an 87.
Okay.
You gave him an 87, Keelan?
Yes.
I did as well.
Wow.
Ah, interesting. Okay, so we'll start with you, Keelan, since you had already watched him before. Did this change your mind at all on lowering his grade or raising his grade? And if so, why?
Yeah. Well, I guess I lowered his grade just a bit because it's just some things that I noticed with, like, from what you guys said in terms of some of his mechanics, and the way his scheme is run is a mostly running scheme, so that's part of the reason I lowered him. And I guess my grades this year are tougher than last year. And the first time I watched him, I graded him based on last year's system, so that must have had a part of it too. Yeah. So 87 is still a respectable grade for me, but it's not like the elite of the elite, because that's like 90 plus is the elite for me, at least.
Sam, your thoughts on why you gave him an 87?
All right, so going over it. arm talent, I did 23 to 25. I think, just like you said, low tier of that elite category. He'll be a top arm in the league, but not the top arm. Accuracy was my lowest grade for him. I gave him an 18 out of 25.
Okay.
Because I really, really, really don't like how the fact that it's like he's boom or bust with his accuracy. He's gonna throw a dime down the sideline with a touch, but then he's gonna, throw it behind the receiver who's 10 yards in front of him.
Yep.
And the footwork is horrible. There's a lot of work that needs to be done with that. Mobility, 23 out of 25. Low end of elite. Very, very speedy. More like a Watson or a Wilson. Good athlete. Mental traits, 23 out of 25. I think he plays confidently. Doesn't get really rattled, etc. I think he's a mentally tough player. So, gave him a 23 out of 25 in that.
Okay.
Equals out 57.
So, a couple questions for you on the mental thing, since obviously that's our biggest disagreement here, at least for what it's worth. Do you consider timing a mental trait? Because I would. In terms of like route timing, like getting the ball to guys when they hit their breaks, things like that.
Yeah,
Or did you
I
consider
guess
that
so.
accuracy?
Yeah, I mean...
Or did you not see an issue with that? Which is a possibility too.
I kind of lumped his inability with consistency and accuracy, etc., and placement into accuracy more so, which is why I dropped his grade a few points from where I would have had it originally. Because with mental traits, I more so just went with, his ability to bounce back, not be rattled. Can he handle throwing from different areas, different schemes, systems, etc., like from the pocket, rolling out on the run, etc. I kind of put that into mental traits.
Okay, so based on that, did you end up impacting him at all for the running too much aspect? In terms of, like, for example, running when he, like, it was a designed pass and then he took off? Or maybe the system element of him?
I didn't put a huge knock into his running because I feel like the scheme he played in kind of was built around his mobility.
Okay, so did you hinder him for his scheme then?
No, not really.
Okay. Okay, so one sentence summary is a new thing as well. For me, for Lance, the sentence I would use to describe him is mobile and or NFL mobility and arm, but inconsistencies allude to sitting 1 year ideally. No, it's too much. Sitting ideally 1 year. Does that fit?
I have another interesting player comp for you.
Okay.
What do you think about Baker Mayfield?
I looked at that, but with Baker, he was like coming out of Oklahoma. His ball placement was absurd.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like, that dude had some of the best ball placement I had ever graded in my probably 15 years.
Yeah, and actually, he doesn't really have that arm strength. That wasn't a very good comparison.
And yeah, the arm strength was probably his biggest weakness for me too. So
I didn't think Baker's arm strength was all that bad. I mean, it wasn't. I don't think it's as good as Lance's, but yeah, I'm not too big of a fan of that.
Okay, so
Baker was. Sorry.
Here's something. Well, no, you continue because it was a stubborn thought for you, Felix.
I was gonna say, Baker was more pro ready, and I think Lance could use the year of development.
Okay, so here's something that Sam and I talked about. I want to get your thoughts on this, since I know you like him. What would you think about a Jordan Love comparison?
It's interesting, but
Like, how would you compare and contrast them?
I think Lance relied on his legs more as a running threat, while Love used his legs more to expand the play and throw the ball downfield. And I prefer Love's deep ball accuracy personally.
Okay.
But I also really liked Love. He reminded me a lot of Mahomes and Rodgers.
So who do you have higher between Lance and Love?
I would
If you had to put Love in your current system, obviously, because direct great comparison. Blah, blah.
Yeah. It's tough to say, but I think I would probably give the edge to Lance, but it'd probably be closer to the same.
Okay, what would be the differentiating factor in favor of Lance?
I do prefer his scheme versatility and his shoulder accuracy, as well as the ability to actually make plays downfield with his legs.
Okay, so there's one term that you didn't bring up that Sam and I talked about. It was the biggest difference here. What do you think about the decision-making difference?
Well, I feel like those are pretty similar to me.
Really?
I've never heard so much emotion.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, you're making me laugh. Okay, I guess to be fair, I'll ask why you think that way.
Are you calling Love the worst decision maker?
I am saying that Trey Lance is by far a better decision maker than Jordan Love, and I don't think it's
Easily.
particularly close.
Trey Lance was a horrid decision maker.
Well,
I mean, there's a reason why Jordan Love had 20-something interceptions and Lance had 0.
that's fair. I didn't think it was, although this was quite a while ago. It's probably been close to 6 months since I watched Love. But from what I remember, I didn't think he was that bad of a decision maker, but I guess the interceptions speak for themselves.
Yeah, it was. What did I give? I have to go back and look what I gave him. I'm pretty sure it was a 5 or less.
Oh, yeah.
It was not good. Okay, anyway. That was not what I was expecting. Alright, hopefully you guys enjoyed this one, learned a thing or two along the way. Do you guys have any other final thoughts?
No. I think that's it.
Sam?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one, learned a thing or two along the way. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this in the future. Let us know your guys' thoughts below if you guys have a specific team fit. We talked a couple of Sam and I while Keelan was having his issues. But let us know if you guys think about any particular teams that you'd like to see him on, and so on and so forth. But for now, hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Stay safe, and peace out.